Welcome to Retrologic. I'm Dan Caparello here with John Cummins. And this week we've got a very special guest, community member Erik Plunk, with us to talk about stuff. We're going to dive deep into Erik and his collecting habits and his collection and why he does what he does. We're going to talk about Starfox 2 and Metroid Prime 2 for a little while. It's going to be a pretty community-focused episode this week, so stick around. It's going to be a fun old time. Erik, how's it going, bro?
Going great. How are you guys?
Awesome.
Doing well. Doing well now that my computer is working. We're recording slightly later tonight, and I blame technology. Yep.
Skynet.
Yeah, not blaming John's kids tonight. John, how are you, dude? How's the family?
Good. Everyone's feeling better. We had like a round of the stomach bugsies going through the house. Gross. Yeah, when you got 5 kids, it just like bounces around like pinball, like takes everyone out at some point.
Oh yeah, I feel you on that one. And speaking of feeling you on things, Retrologic isn't just a podcast. It's also a retro game store. Visit Retrologic.games to check out our growing inventory of cleaned, tested, and authentic retro games. And actually, I just added a bunch of inventory. Some Super Nintendo, some Game Boy. We got a GameCube up there. 20 new thingies just added. And we've got a clearance sale going on. So buy 2 items under $15 and you get 40% off. So please clear my inventory. John, you already bought some stuff from there, so thank you for that.
Oh yeah.
So let's jump into what we bought, what we played this week. Erik, you're our guest. So why don't you go first, man? What did you buy? What did you play this week?
As far as buying, I've been posting, like I did in our Discord, the Famicom disk system.
Yeah.
The AV Famicom and Zelda, the original Zelda Famicom here that I'm holding in my hand. But yeah, that's all I've bought really, other than a copy of Spy vs. Spy on the Master System.
Classic.
Show you. I actually used to rent the NES version of that all the time. Not really that great a game in hindsight, but I just loved Mad Magazine back in the day. And yeah, those. Other than that, that's about it. As far as what I would have been playing, Super Mario 3D World. I actually beat it today. So it's pretty fun.
Did you get through Bowser's Fury?
Did you beat the? Yeah,
I just did the 50 cat shines. I'll probably go back and do the 100 some other time, but I just wanted to at least get that first ending there. But it's kind of Odyssey like, but yeah, I enjoyed it.
Awesome. Yeah, I played Spy vs. Spy on the NES also, and I just could never wrap my head around that game. I don't know what the deal is going on with that. It's so backwards. I don't understand. Like, I know you're supposed to like set traps and stuff, but I don't know. It's weird. You like find weapons, but you can't use them. I don't know. It's a weird 2-player game.
Was there an SNES version of that game? Like, was that a later game?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think there was. Just from what I remember, just the NES, and then of course I didn't know about the Master System version until recent years. But
yeah,
it's one of those, one of those few card games for the Master System instead of the cartridge. So I'm kind of trying to get all those for the system.
Awesome. Yeah, good deal. What about you, John? You play anything or buy anything this week? You were on a streak for a while, just picking up games left and right.
I had to spend a weekend reorganizing my shelving and things, and didn't have a lot of time to pick up any games at the local store. So I just had Alien Syndrome for the Wii come in the mail, and Valkyrie Profile Lilith for the PSP. And then I also picked up some Mario 35th collector's t-shirts from the Nintendo store while they were on sale. I think I
Sweet.
got Mario Galaxy and Mario Odyssey. They were like the T-shirts that weren't white or like a light color.
Yeah.
Those don't last long.
I haven't
Especially a bunch of kids, they like spill stuff on you. And
yeah. I haven't seen those. I gotta check the store and check those out. I didn't know they had those like retro shirts. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, they come in a box that looks like the box that the game came in.
Oh man. I'd have a hard time opening that box.
Yeah, I was very tempted. Yeah, I was very tempted to buy like all 10 of them, but I was like, man, that's like $300 for shirts.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll just pick 2 that look really good and then like be okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the designs on those. I was looking at a couple of them. Maybe like I think Mario Brothers 1 was the main one I was looking at. But yeah, those are pretty nice.
They were like $30 or $35 originally, and then they got discounted down to like 22. So I bought a couple.
Ooh, okay. That might
I got a nice hoodie too, but it's also white. Both the hoodies are white. It's like I don't know that I've ever owned a white hoodie. I don't know if that's a great idea. Anyway, I bought some shirts, and really the only thing I've been playing other than our crossplay game is Bravely Default 2, which came out last week.
Yeah.
And even then, I didn't get very far. I'm like 2 hours in. I think I just kind of went through basically what is the tutorial. I think my guys are all like level 6 or 7, so I haven't made it very far. So far, it's hasn't changed a whole lot from the first game, so it's kind of comforting. Like I can hop right in and know where I'm at. Hopefully, I've heard there's quite a few changes later on, so I'll be looking forward to that.
I've heard it could be very grindy.
Yeah, that's what I was doing while we were waiting for you to get ready.
Grinding it out.
Grinding away.
Awesome. Well, good. Yeah. Pretty uneventful week for all of us, I think. I mean, I mostly did a lot of working this week. Tons of contract gigs came in. But one of the games that I ordered a while back that was delayed because of our ice storm came in, which is Toe Jam and Earl on the Sega Genesis. I'm grabbing non-complete in box Sega Genesis games. I mostly just want to play them. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to save a few bucks and just go for cartridge only. Toe Jam and Earl, man, just one of the games that I played with my brother nonstop on the Sega Genesis all the time. So definitely had to own that one. He and I are supposed to do a 2-player stream coming up here because he lives in town. So he's going to come over. We're going to set up a camera and a stream and play some 2-player games. That and General Chaos are for sure on the docket. John, did you know that Alien Syndrome for the Wii is like one of my favorite Wii games? I love that game.
I did not.
Yeah.
I also noticed it's like one of the like worst rated games for the Wii.
It sure is. It is definitely on the list of games that everybody else thinks is trash that I just love for some reason. Don't know why. Whatever. I played it nonstop when it came out on the Wii when it launched, and I can't explain it.
You talked about it, so
well,
I had to grab a copy.
Yeah. How much did you pay? $4? $3? $6?
I think I paid 10.
Okay. All right.
Oh wow.
Must have been complete in box.
I think it's $10. Yes, complete in box. Yeah.
I paid three for mine, I think.
Yeah, that's about what it's worth for most people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then
I looked, and that was like the best deal I could find for a complete box. So
yeah,
it must be going up a little bit. People are really they're just like, I need to buy a Wii game. This is it.
I don't know. I mean, it's 4-player co-op. It's got RPG elements. I don't know why everybody hates it. I think it's fun. So it's as fun as Gauntlet.
What's is the NES version any good? Like, is it any better or?
It's the retro arcade game. It's like Gauntlet. I mean, that's what it is. It's multiplayer. Yeah. Alien.
It's a shooter.
Top-down shooter maze game. Yeah. I love it. if you have no nostalgia for it, you could probably jump in and have a good time. It's not like the greatest game ever made or anything, but I enjoy it.
Oh,
yeah.
I really like Gauntlet, so
yeah,
if it's like Gauntlet, then I'll probably be all over it.
Yeah, it's very much like Gauntlet.
Which the NES one goes for like 15, so it's not a whole lot. I might grab it too.
Yeah, I don't think there's very much.
I believe it's a Tengen game.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, because it was a Sega published or something. Sega developed. I'm not really sure back then.
It's like,
but
same thing as Gauntlet.
Tengen did whatever they want back then, so whatever.
Yeah, that's why they even made their own carts. So.
Yeah, precisely, exactly. All right, you guys. Well, let's jump into some Prices Retro since we got the ice broken now. All right, everybody get your lists out. And if this is your first time listening to the show, you don't know how to play Prices Retro, here's how it works. We are each going to list off a couple of games, 3 to 5 games. And it is your job to guess the total value of those games based on the system and the condition, according to pricecharting.com, what the actual value of the game is today. And whoever guesses closest to the actual price wins. That's how we play. And if you want to submit your own list, make sure you either DM me on Twitter at Retrologic.games, or you can hit me up in the Discord and send me your list of games. I'll show you how to do that so that we keep everything nice and we don't cheat. That's what we don't want, cheaters. No cheaters allowed. So because Erik, you're our guest, you're going to go first. And so go ahead and list off your games without their prices. And John and I will try to guess the total value.
Alrighty. So first off, I've got Back to the Future for the NES, loose. All right. And then I've got Super Back to the Future 2 for the Super Famicom, also loose.
Ah, you did a theme here.
Yeah. Can you guess what the next one will be? Back to the Future 3 for the Sega Genesis, complete in box. And then finally, we've got Back to the Future, the game for the Wii, also complete in box.
So,
right.
John, do you have a price?
I think so.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm thinking $70.
That's interesting. My guess is $125. I think I'm right.
25.
All right, Erik. So now
you're not quite right.
So what? Well, okay.
But you are the closest.
Oh, that's good. Yay. All right. Go ahead and give us each game's value and then give us the total at the end.
Gotcha. Okay. So Back to the Future loose, $8 for the NES. Super Back to the Future 2 for the Super Famicom is $70 loose.
Whoa.
And I actually own that. I actually own that one. Let's see. Back to the Future 3 for the Sega Genesis, complete in box, $67.
Okay, I was pretty close on that one.
Back to the Future, the game for the Wii is $35, complete in box.
Okay.
Oh man, it's a high-end Wii game.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. What's the total?
Oh, and the grand total would be $180.
Dang, man. Yeah, that Famicom
Totally underestimated.
Super Famicom game totally threw
Back to
me
the
off.
Future.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy because some Super Famicom games are dirt cheap and then others are just up there.
I was kind of banking on it being dirt cheap.
Yeah, I went somewhere in the middle, I guess 30, just because I don't really have a good grasp on what those go for the most part. But wow.
I was thinking like 10, 20, 20, and 10.
Yeah.
Because Wii games are like, if it's not like a first party title, Wii games are usually like in the trash bin.
Yeah, and some
price-wise.
titles break that trend, but yeah, you're right. For the most part, it's kind of like
very few,
like Last Story and Pandora's Tower and like Little King's Story, that kind of stuff. Yeah, awesome, cool list, man. Thanks, Eric. All right, are you ready to guess our lists?
Oh, I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
We'll see how it goes. I'm going to go ahead and go next. So I've got a theme. I'm going to see if you guys can guess what this one is. We've got Prehistoric Man for the Super Nintendo, cartridge only, which we discovered tonight is actually a pretty good game on Nintendo Switch Online. Joe and Mac 2, Lost in the Tropics for the Super Nintendo, cartridge only. And Super Bonk for the Super Nintendo, cartridge only. You got a guess? Just shout her out.
You got just 3 games this time?
Just 3 today, yeah.
Okay. You're throwing me off for a minute.
Sorry.
Okay. I'm going to say 115.
Okay.
All right.
Eric, what do you think?
I'm going 85.
All right. So we've got a Prehistoric Man for the Super Nintendo, which is worth $29. Joe and Mac 2, which is worth $73. Blew my mind. And then Super Bonk for the Super Nintendo, which is worth a measly $50. And the total is $152. And John, who won that one?
I beat Eric by $30.
Dang.
I actually had mine, the first Joe and Mac game is what I was thinking of, and I think it's about 20. So that's kind of what threw me off.
Oh, man. Yeah, that second one surprised me too. I thought it would be closer to 30 or 40. But
yeah.
Random games have been jumping up in price lately, so you got to check that price charting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of was thinking Super Bonk around $20, so that one got me.
Oh, really? Yeah, before I checked the price, I assumed that was going to be a high dollar one. I was surprised it was as low as 50, honestly.
I think I'd actually recently looked it up and saw that it was 50, so that was something that I actually had researched on without knowing it was going to be.
You lucked out on that one.
Yes.
Awesome.
All right.
Go ahead, John.
So my list is a little different this time, but it kind of goes with Eric's recent venture. So I have Metroid for the Famicom Disk System complete.
Oh, man. Hold on.
Metroid
for the Famicom Disk System complete. I have to wrap my brain around that one. Okay, go ahead. Jeez.
And then Legend of Zelda.
You just rattle it off, and I'm like, hold on. What? It is topical though. We've been talking about that in the Discord. So, okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So this next one's a little bit of a freebie for Eric because he just bought it. But Legend of Zelda for the Famicom Disk System complete. Castlevania for the Famicom Disk System complete.
Oh, man.
And Famicom Grand Prix 2 3D Hot Rally for the Famicom Disk System complete.
I might as well just throw a random number at the board here. 70. Okay, I'm going to throw my number out there too first because I have no idea on any of these. I'm going to say a clean $150. 150.
Alrighty.
Yeah. Eric, your turn.
All right, I'm going to make a fairly educated guess, and let's see, what did that come up to be? Let me double check my math here. 40, 90, okay, 257.
Oh my God.
257.
All right, and the total value of my lot is 184. So you guys were right in the middle on both sides.
Wow.
All right. So, according to this, Dan is the winner
Yes.
of this week's Price is Retro.
Oh my
Yay.
gosh.
Followed by Erik,
Sweet.
and I came in last. So Dan had 89. I had 147, and Erik had 140. So we were all
Wow.
Well, me and Erik are pretty close. You kind of blew us away. You almost halved our amount.
Nice. I honestly,
I did.
that was insane. How close I got with those Famicom games. That was a total. I was like, I guess they're like $40 a piece, maybe. Like that racing game seems like it would be cheap. So
it's the cheapest. I didn't go through the list. Metroid is 56.
Yeah.
Zelda is 45. Castlevania is 50, and Famicom Grand Prix is $33.
So I wasn't too far off in my like estimation. I just went too low a little bit. Crazy, man.
These are all ones that I plan on picking up when I get my disc system. So I wanted to get a list.
Erik, what happened, dude? I beat you. What happened?
I don't know, man. I think I'm looking at some of the wrong sellers on eBay or something, some price gougers.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing too, is our guesses are based on price charting. So it's kind of like the highest and the lowest averaged. So if you're looking at buy it nows on eBay, I guarantee you the actual value of the game is lower than that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So
some of these have some blended in with people that get really lucky on the auctions, and they'll steal one, and it just drives that median price down. Because I've noticed that too.
Right. That's why I never go by price charting alone when I'm pricing games. It's like, I'm going to see what these are actually selling for on eBay. So I had something I came across that was very interesting when I was searching for these. So I'm going to have you guys do a little mini Prices Retro with this. Bonk's Adventure for the NES, cartridge only. I'm going to have you guys guess a price. Go ahead and just throw a number out there.
150.
$750.
Well, Erik's closer because it is a $600 cartridge.
Oh, jeez.
One of those was actually at my local game store here.
What?
Recently, yeah. And a buddy of mine got it. I think it probably was around 600 at the time, I'm guessing, but I just couldn't remember what the price was.
That's insane. What is the deal with that?
I think it came out in like 93 or 94. It's one of those late releases that just didn't have a lot of copies, I guess.
Yeah.
Now, was this the same? Was this a port of the TurboGrafx game, or was it its own game completely?
I think it's pretty much just a straight port. I mean, of course, it looks not as good, probably color graphics wise. It's just kind of after, I guess NEC was the TurboGrafx was dying down, so they started putting their IP on other systems.
It's pretty insane.
Makes sense. Got to jump ship.
Yeah, those late NES games, man, those things are pricey. Well, that was pretty fun. Thanks for playing, Erik. Thanks for playing, John. Better luck next week, John. I don't know what to tell you. I'm on a streak now. I'm on a 2-week streak.
You are. We both won 9 games.
Hey, that's cool.
We're tied up.
Oh, next week's a tiebreaker.
We finally caught up.
We should do something special next week. Let's see if I remember to do something special next week. If you're listening to this, you're in the Discord. Y'all better remind me to do something special next week for the tiebreaker. And actually, maybe y'all should just send us like a bunch of Prices Retro stuff. Yeah, let's do that. If you are within earshot of me right now, send in a list. DM me on Twitter or on Discord, and I'll give you instructions on how to send a list. And we'll just do like tons of them, and we'll see who gets closer. That'll be really, really interesting.
Make them as hard as possible.
I hope I don't regret
You'll have
that.
to remind me to modify my sheet.
Oh yeah, John's gonna have to make a whole new sheet. It's gonna be a whole thing. I just came up with this now, and now I'm making John do a bunch of extra work. So thank you for that. So
I was kind of hoping that Erik would be our first winner, and that he could get a prize like Nick's.
oh man, Yeah, Nick, poor Nick Metzger has the record for the worst game of Price is Retro on our podcast. Oh, love you, Nick, if you're listening. Love you if you're not listening. So we're going to jump into our weekly topics. There's not a whole lot going on this week as far as this day in gaming history or news or game releases. So we're just going to hit our first week of this month's Crossplay, which is I am playing Starfox 2 and John is playing Metroid Prime 2. And we both got about an hour of our games in this week, except the outcome of that hour is drastically different because I beat my game in about 45 minutes. Just beat it. Killed Andros. Done with the game.
Sorry, Andros.
Yes. Yeah, Andrew, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry. I had to. It's the game. What are you going to do? I'll go ahead and jump into my thoughts first since I already told you that it took me 45 minutes to beat the game, which was very surprising. It's way different than Starfox, the original Starfox. Graphics are on par. They're better, but like still that kind of like not quite
wireframey.
Yeah, well, it is a significant upgrade, but it's not N64 PlayStation level. It's probably somewhere in between those two. But my initial reaction to the graphics was honestly pretty bonkers that it looks as good as it does, having like straight up polygons on the Super Nintendo. They really like maxed out what they could do with the Super FX chip. And I'm sure it looks better on the NSO than it would on an actual Super Nintendo. At least I assume it does. But it still just blew me away with the polygon work and how good it looks and how well it runs. But it plays a lot more like Star Fox Command, if you've played that, where you're not running through a bunch of on-rails missions. It's almost entirely all range mode, and you choose where your ships go in the universe to attack either like a missile that's heading towards Corneria, or like a space dragon that's attacking you. And then you visit these planets that are taken over by Andross's forces, and you do like an on-planet all-range mode, and you blow up their base. You do that a couple times, and you slowly make your way through the galaxy, through the universe to Andross's base, where you do this is also the game where they introduced some new characters, and I don't remember their names because I was playing. Mia and gosh, man, I don't remember.
Bow hair girl,
the dog, yeah, and they're adorable, man. I wish that they brought them back, but they're dead. They're dead characters. That's a shame, because my love. Let me preface what I'm saying, even though I already said it all, with this. I love Star Fox. Star Fox is in my like top 5 favorite video game franchises of all time. So I plan on going back into this and playing with other characters, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 playable characters, and all their ships have different abilities. And so I ran through with 2 characters, because you choose like a pilot and a wingman. And those are your 2 lives, basically. If one ship blows up, you have your backup ship, and then you play as that character. Man, so like, as a Star Fox fan, it's really cool to go back and play this game that was lost to history for a long time, and kind of experience what Nintendo's vision was for the future of Star Fox. Not that I'm upset that we got that we got Star Fox 64 instead of this, because Star Fox 64, I prefer the on-rails missions to the all-range mode missions, especially on the Super Nintendo. Just the on-rails stuff plays so much better with the low frame rate and like trying to navigate what's going on. Another thing that Star Fox 2 has is the little walker, which you can transform into on any planet level. And That's pretty cool. Like I got my head around the controls for that because you could strafe. You use L and R to turn left and right, and then your up, down, left, right is like movement. So that's pretty cool. I enjoyed doing that quite a bit. They brought that back for Star Fox Zero, which is fine. Star Fox Zero is okay. And really, I think my big takeaway from this game is that it is a really, really cool piece of history that they borrowed elements from for future games. And I think that if you are a retro gamer or a Star Fox fan at all, you owe it to yourself to jump onto Nintendo Switch Online and just play through it. It takes 45 minutes. It takes no time to beat this game. It does take some getting used to because of the low frame rate and you're playing a 3D game with a D-pad. But I mean, just get used to it and play it because it's fun. So, John, thank you for making me play this game. It was a joy to play. It was really fun to play on stream and see everyone's reactions to stuff. I don't know what I'm going to play next Monday. I might have like a poll in the Discord and see what everybody wants to see me play because I've got a stack of games I've never played before. That'd be fun to jump through. So yeah,
I had to give you something. I had to give you something you wanted to play before I threw you right back into Castlevania or something.
It was a palate cleanser, so I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So Eric, did you play any Star Fox 2 on the Super Nintendo Classic or NSO or anywhere else?
I don't think I ever actually played it. Like I know I fired it up when I first got my SNES Classic, and just to see it. I mean, it was a never before seen game, but I never actually put any time into it.
Yeah. Okay. Are you a fan of Star Fox in general?
I mean, I've back in the day, I think I remember I didn't actually own it, but I borrowed a friend's copy and enjoyed it. But I've never actually like finished any of the Star Fox games.
Oh.
So I wouldn't say like I'm like an uber fan or anything, but
Okay.
I enjoy them for what they are.
Well, moving on then.
Yeah.
Moving right along.
Yes.
No further questions.
John,
You ever finished Star Fox Adventure?
I actually, like about less than a year ago, I got about halfway through Adventure and just didn't feel compelled to go any further. It's kind of like a lesser
Gets tired
Zelda
of
or something.
Yeah. And the is it the Triceratops, the little guy that you
Tricky?
have with you all the time?
Yeah.
Yeah. Constantly talking at you.
Right.
Star Fox Adventures is a great Zelda game. That's what I'll say. It's a really good Zelda game. Star Fox game, but it's got the characters. And it introduced me to Crystal, so I can't fault it too much.
There you go.
So, John, do you have
nice.
any experience with Star Fox 2?
I played the majority of the game on the Super Nintendo Classic. I remember you had to fire up Star Fox 1.
You had to
and
beat the
at
first
least
level.
one
Yeah.
mission.
Mhm.
Yeah, beat the first level and it unlocked it. So I went back through and played. It's drastically different. Like in the state of the game, it was complete and then shelved. Just blows my mind that Nintendo would even do that because it had to be like at least, if anything, quick money, especially on something that they had already put development time in.
It must have been
And
like,
it's not a bad game.
no, it's a great game, and it must have been like, they must have been so sure that it was going to hurt their reputation as a company to do that. Like, you know what I mean? Like they must have been like, well, now PlayStation is out and like our console's about to come out. So like, how are we, you know what I mean? Like we're going to embarrass ourselves by launching this 3D game on the Super Nintendo when we should just be pushing everyone to buy Star Fox 64, which was launch year or soon after.
It was 97.
Yeah, so like the year after.
So instead, they put out a Kirby game on Super Nintendo.
Of course they did. Kirby is the harbinger of the end of a console cycle.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the history of it's very interesting with like Argonaut and their whole like help with the Super FX chip, and I'd love to do an episode on them at some point.
Yeah, they did some awesome games early on too, like different prototypes and things.
Yeah. Great. Well, good. That might be the entirety of our Star Fox 2 conversation, because I'm probably not going to go back to it this month. But John, tell us a little bit about your history and experience with Metroid Prime 2 so far.
So I played today. This is the first day I had time to sit down and actually play really anything, and grab my trusty GameCube game, threw it in my Wii, and blew the dust off a manual that I forgot I had, or a Nintendo Power Guide, and sat down and played. I want to say it was about an hour. I'm not out of the temple yet, so played through the intro, landed on the planet. You see Dark Samus for the first time, and you get attacked by the creatures or whatever. I'm not even sure the lore of the game yet, and you lose all your abilities. So now I'm slowly making my way through the temple and being reminded of how much I miss the camera. Like I want a Metroid with a real camera. Like that's the one thing that I miss the most when I try to go back and play these games.
Oh, you're playing on the Wii, but you're playing the GameCube game, not the Wii version, not the motion control version. Right. Okay. Because the Metroid Prime trilogy added Wii controls to it.
Yeah, but does it have an independent camera?
Kind of. Yes and no. Like it still has the lock-on feature, but your Wii remote pointer will move your head around.
Okay.
It kind of like I mean, any first-person shooter on the Wii did this, but it's I think that it is pretty well implemented in the Prime games. So if you want to start over on Prime Trilogy because you want that, I think it will make the game easier for you. Anything that's going to make this game easier for you is a good thing, because it is not easy.
The thing that, just even with Metroid Prime, the thing that I remember, the camera controls were always a struggle for me, and then some of the platforming, it's not really the strong point of that game. Trying to jump on things that you can't see very well.
First person platforming has never been a good idea.
Yeah. It reminds me of like trying to play Turok on the N64.
Right.
They make you do this insane platforming and you can't even see the platforms.
I always had to enable the like overlay map to see where the freaking platforms were, because I could never do it.
Yeah. Yep. But anyway, I'm enjoying the game. Getting my Metroid legs back for 3D Metroid, because it's been I don't even know how long since I played the original Metroid Prime, and I never played 2 or 3, so these will be new experiences. Cool. But definitely enjoying it. Like this, the sound's always my favorite part of Metroid.
Oh yeah.
Just hearing things moving around in the background, you turn around and it's a stupid wasp thing shooting at you. You gotta lock onto him because you can't shoot. The aim doesn't work how you want it to. I'm probably gonna switch to the Wii controls on the Wii one.
Yeah. Do you have the trilogy?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have it on the Wii U.
I recommend doing that. Eric, do you have any experience with Metroid Prime? What's your deal?
My deal is I've dabbled in all 3 of them. Just not put a ton of time into them, but I think my favorite part of them is just scanning all the little creatures and everything. And I probably spent more time doing that than what I actually should have probably been doing.
Oh, that's part of it.
But
yeah, that's part of the experience.
They give you that visor for a reason.
Right. But yeah, I've
was Metroid
the
Prime was Metroid Prime your first Metroid game, or were you like a fan from like Super Metroid and all that?
I never did play the NES one. I remember playing the Super Metroid at like a kiosk at Walmart, and like for some reason just not liking it. Like I guess I like cutesy games more than these atmospheric games.
Eric, you are killing me, bro, right now. Come on, dude.
That was a long time ago. I was 9 years old. No, I was 11 years old when that game came out. But anyway, I did go on and like
hold on. No, just stop for a second.
Okay,
you were an 11-year-old boy. You're just a, romping, stomping, rough and tumble. Or you grew up in Tennessee, 11-year-old boy, and you walk into Toys R Us, and there's a spacesuit, gun, shooting aliens, and you're like, that's not for me. Tell me what went wrong with that scenario, Eric.
Let's see, 94. What did I go for that year? Donkey Kong Country.
Well, I can't blame you for that one.
Yeah. Trying to think I can't think of anything else that came out in 94.
Kirby of some kind.
Probably.
Maybe Avalanche.
The only Kirby game I got back then was Dream Course, and I got it like for $5 in like a $5 bin at Walmart.
Okay.
And that was an awesome Kirby game. But
Dream Course is great.
Not that it matters to you, but I forgive you on the grounds that you were playing Donkey Kong Country. So
right.
And I'm only a recent convert to the wonders of Super Metroid. So I'm not one to judge.
What about Plok?
Yeah, what about Plok?
Yes, were you playing Plok in 94?
I was not aware of Plok for whatever reason back then.
No, nobody was. Nobody bought it.
I must have missed that issue. I must have missed that issue of Nintendo Power.
Yeah. Oh man.
But,
okay. So let me go ahead.
Oh, I was just kind of going back to Metroid. Like played through some Super Metroid, probably more than half on the Wii Virtual Console. And then back when Fusion came out, I played all the way through it. It's the only Metroid game I've finished actually is Fusion. Never played Zero, and then just kind of dabbled in the other three. That's kind of my Metroid history there.
Okay, cool.
You did the best one, so I'll give you that one.
Cool. So
Fusion to me is the best.
Better than Zero, huh?
Yeah, because Zero is its own game, but it's still a retelling of the first game. And there's just something about Fusion and being basically like at a weaker state through the most of the game, having to work your way back up.
If Tim
I like it.
If Tim is listening to this episode, he is rolling in his grave right now.
Well, he's a 3D Metroid guy.
Tim is a Metroid guy, period. Well, let me.
I thought he preferred the Prime games over the 2D ones, though.
Yeah, but he's still a super fan of the whole series. Here's my deal. Metroid Prime was my first Metroid game, and I immediately fell in love with Metroid. Like I was obsessed. I loved Metroid Prime. Really liked Metroid Prime 2. I had a hard time with it, but I still loved it. Loved Metroid Prime 3. I went back after I played Metroid Prime on the GameCube. I went back and played the original on NES. Got lost as hell. But I enjoyed what was there because you know what I mean? Like it was like the beginnings of what was to become one of my favorite GameCube games of all time. And then I kind of forgot about Metroid. Like I've missed the Game Boy Advance games. Never really went back to it.
That's all there was.
And that's all. Yeah, right. That's all there was. And then a couple months ago, we did Super Metroid as my crossplay game and immediately fell back in love with it. And now I'm super hyped for Metroid Prime 4. So that's kind of my journey with the series. And I don't want to, John, you've got a ways to go with this game. I hope you put some time into it because it is worth playing. And all I can say, my friend, is good luck.
Yeah, the 3D ones are my shortcomings. Have either one of you played the remake of Samus Returns?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, I think I probably got more than halfway through it, but never finished it.
I got about half.
It's kind of a recurring theme.
Yeah.
That game's so good. You guys need to go back. And it's super playable like nowadays too. So, I mean, it's only like 3-4 years ago.
Yeah. They need to re-release that on
great.
Switch. So
yeah, I'll buy it again.
Yeah, for sure. Let's take a quick breaky here. And when we come back, we've got a bunch of community content. We're going to talk about Retro Rewind, which we have an event coming up this week. We're going to do a little mini interview with Erik here and see what makes him tick. And we're going to chat about our Throwback Thursday questions. So if you wouldn't mind, come on right back after this musical breaky. Welcome back to the show. We're gonna talk some community stuff, and first, let's just kick this right off by talking about Retro Rewind and what we've got going on this week. So, on Friday night this week, we're gonna have a live discussion via Zoom call, and anybody in the Retrologic Discord or the Nintendo Dads Discord is welcome to join in. It's going to be about an hour and a half long podcast starting at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. And we're just going to chat Sonic the Hedgehog the whole time. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. We're going to talk about what we loved, what we hated. We're going to talk about the character, our history. We're going to just hit all of it. And if you want to join in, you have to pre-register. How do you pre-register, you ask? Well, you have to be a member of the Discord. And there should be a link to register in the Retro Rewind channel on your Discord land place of choice. So I'd love for you to jump in if you play Sonic the Hedgehog, or if you want to, just play Sonic the Hedgehog this week and then jump into the conversation. You can register up until the day of Friday. On Friday, I'm going to cut off registrations, and we're having to have who we have because I have to prepare a little bit. Awesome. So that is that. Erik, you have been in the Retrologic community for a while now, and you have a pretty nasty collection of retro games. So we're going to do just a little interview, a little hot take on who Erik is, what makes you tick, and why you love retro gaming. So let me ask you, first of all, is your current collection, did it start with games you already owned, or did you like sell everything as a kid and start from scratch?
Yeah, unfortunately, I just sold everything I had pretty much. Sold my Super Nintendo stuff to a friend, sold my 64 stuff to another friend, and after that, I started trading to GameStop and those sort of things. So I unfortunately never kept really anything that I had back in the day.
Yeah, that's like me.
But yeah, it started. Yeah, I mean it started really with, I think about 5 years ago, maybe. I got like a N64 from a flea market. Just kind of wanted to pick up a few games I used to have, years before, and that's kind of where it started.
Right on.
Nice.
That's funny. Your story is almost exactly like mine. I was at a retro gaming convention, and they have vendors there and they sell their games and stuff. And I was like, man, I'm just gonna get an N64 and a couple games. And it was an N64, just like you. And once you kind of open that can of worms, once it's popped open, it's kind of like, well, now I gotta get a Super Nintendo because I got the 60, and now I gotta get and now I gotta get a GameCube, and like it keeps going. It keeps on going. So when you were a kid, were you pretty much a Nintendo guy, or did you dabble at all in like PlayStation, Sega, TurboGrafx, any of that stuff?
Definitely mostly a Nintendo guy. Of course, friends and family had Segas that I would play. Trying to think, I think the first non-Nintendo system I had was briefly like a PlayStation 1 in like 1999, and I only kept it for like 3 months. But yeah, other than that, PlayStation 1, original Xbox. I think those were like my first non-Nintendo excursions.
Nice. And so what kind of games did you like to play growing up? What are some of your favorite titles?
I was all into Street Fighter 2 Turbo, like played that to death.
Yeah.
I probably thought I was better than I actually was because I always beat my little sister in it. I'm sure I'd get my butt handed to me if I was to actually go up against anybody with any skill, but had fun with those. Gosh, what all did I have? Like Aladdin for the Super Nintendo. Let's see. I've already said Donkey Kong Country.
Oh yeah.
Super Mario RPG. Just mostly platformer oriented stuff. Not a whole lot of RPGs. NBA Jam, that sort of thing.
What was your first console?
The NES. Yeah, that would have been like 1988. Like I think I had played one at my cousin's house like the year prior, and which would have been 87. I only would have been 4 years old, so that was really one of my first memories. I actually remember my first time, playing Super Mario Brothers and falling into the pits and dying and that sort of thing. But yeah, the NES with the Gray Zapper, Mario Brothers Dunk Hunt. It would have been the year before the Orange Zapper version came out. So, but yeah, that was my first.
Nice. Yes.
Awesome.
So today, Erik, one of the things that you are, or that you've been getting into lately, at least as we've seen on the Discord, is you've got you got your Famicom, you got your disk system, and you got your copy of Legend of Zelda. And that's a pretty unique-ish thing to start collecting. So when you were first starting collecting, when do you feel like you crossed the threshold from like, I'm just going to have an N64 and play the games I like, to like, oh, now I have to catalog and organize, and now I'm a collector? When do you feel like you crossed that threshold?
Let's see, just retracing the chain of events. Let's see, I've got the N64, and then after that, I think I found like a Super Nintendo for cheap on Facebook Marketplace. I'd say probably by the time I got my first like top loader NES, because that was actually some money to put down on it. Like it's kind of like, okay, this is kind of serious here. So I'm putting down actual money on these and not just finding deals or whatever. That was probably kind of it after I got my top loader.
I guess that's kind of the tell, right? Like as soon as you drop 3 digits on something, you're kind of like, yeah, I guess this is like what I'm doing now, isn't it?
I guess you could say things are getting pretty serious.
Yeah, that's a commitment now. Awesome. And so tell me about like a really great haul that you got, or like a really great deal you got, something that just like was incredible.
Let's see, that would have been the summer before last. So yeah, summer 2019. Just kind of looking over on Facebook Marketplace and basically looking for yard sales, and this one yard sale post, they have, a couple of things, including some games, and you can't really tell what they are. Just like a box with some games poking out, and just on a whim, I make a beeline towards it, and it's actually in the middle of nowhere. It took me like 30 minutes to get there on some back road I've never been on. And I pull up to the house, and they have, it doesn't look like a yard sale. It looks like they're throwing trash out or something. That's like what they do have is beside the road, and it's like just mostly junk. Like you just think that it's meant for the trash people to pick up and throw away. But then the box of games is sitting there, and I pull up, and they come out of the house, and it's like mostly a box full of mostly Super Nintendo games, like 2 or 3 copies of Zelda.
Oh my gosh.
Like a copy of Super Metroid. Gosh, what else was in there? Saturday Night Slam Masters. I think that one goes for about 40. But I think like once I added everything together, like I said, it's mostly Super Nintendo, maybe one NES game, a couple of controllers. Like the total value was like $400, and
crazy.
So of course, I'm like, how much for the whole box? And she throws out $20. I'm like, okay. All right.
Sold.
I just felt like I, had stolen something, and I just got it and got the heck out of there. She said she had like 20 or 30 people that messaged her, but I was the first one to get there, and that was definitely my biggest haul.
That's insane.
It's probably a rat race, and you didn't even know it.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Oh man, those are like those dream stories where you're like, yeah, I just found a random box somewhere and it had all these rare Super Nintendo games in it. I feel like I've had a dream like that exact dream before or something. That's awesome. Okay, so today, Erik Plunk, you've got a pretty gnarly collection of games going on there. Do you know your total number of games?
I don't offhand. I've kind of been trading some things that I don't want to keep here lately, so I know it's gone down some. Mm-hmm. I would be willing to bet that it's probably less than you guys have. It's just I've been getting these heavy hitter Saturn games and whatnot, and kind of trading what I don't want, so it's kind of dwindled the number down. So maybe 200 games.
Cool.
Maybe.
That's right around where I'm at.
Like it used to be a lot more, but like I said, I've been kind of trimming the fat and not keeping things that are just going to sit there and never ever have a single chance of getting played. Just kind of going quality over quantity, I guess.
So what got you started on Sega Saturn? You grew up a Nintendo kid, basically had a PlayStation for 2 seconds. So why Sega Saturn all of a sudden?
I'd probably mainly blame it on YouTube. Watch.
Oh, sorry.
YouTube made me do it.
YouTube's fault. Yep, pretty much. Yeah, like people like GameSack and any of the other big channels that cover that sort of thing. I'm just kind of like keep watching them, like, oh, I gotta get this. Can I see what I missed out on?
Well, if it makes you feel any better, Erik,
nice.
both John and I are now like scoping out Famicom disk systems, so I blame you for that.
Yes,
I'm sure the whole channel is. Oh man, that's awesome.
It's gonna be another uptick in those on price,
right?
Because we're gonna buy a bunch.
Better grab yours now.
It'll be like Plock all over again.
Yeah.
We'll get eyeballing some. So
yeah, we've got to all try to, like, if it's best offer, just kind of get it as low as we can. That way we don't screw each other over and overpay for everything and up the prices.
Yeah, I don't know that our little community is going to make a dent right now, but maybe someday. Maybe someday we can hack the system. That's awesome. So John, what is your ultimate like goal with your collection? Or are you just kind of going day by day and saying like, this feels cool to collect, I'm going to do this? Or do you have like a grander vision for what you want to do in the near future or the distant future?
I think he meant for you, Eric. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you said. Okay.
I'm so used to saying John on the pod. I'm so used to saying John. You know what I mean? Did you hear the question, Eric?
Repeat it if you don't mind.
Just, is there like a grander vision that you have for your collection, like in the future, or are you kind of going through just day by day, picking up stuff you think is cool?
I mean, I definitely go through phases. I mean, I've been really going hard on like getting things that I actually want to play through and also have, replayability. Just games that either, mean something to me or, I think I'd enjoy, more than once. But yeah, I also go through phases all the time. Like I've sort of been slacking off Saturn, especially since the Famicom stuff. And, if the new shiny thing gets dangled in front of me, I'm, there's no telling where I'll go, but, I'm just mainly trying to focus on things that I want to hold on to, long term.
Awesome. All right. John, do you have anything you want to throw in the interview? Ask Eric.
Yeah. What does your family think about your collecting?
I mean, they embrace it. I've got a 14-year-old daughter, and occasionally I'll reel her into playing, some games with me or whatever, but mostly she sticks to her PS4. I mean, like I try not to spend too much actual money on games. Like I'll, either trade something or, try to get a deal on something. So I try not to spend too much actual money to keep, my wife at bay on that sort of thing. But I mean, she likes the fact that I have, a hobby of my own, something I enjoy, but yeah, they support me, I'd say.
Awesome.
That's always good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else. I was just curious. I know my family gets in pretty good with games. Now, my wife is probably the least, but the kids like yours, I have an 11-year-old boy that would probably rather play his Xbox One or PlayStation 4 all the time, but I can still wrangle him in to play some older stuff every once in a while.
Yeah, my oldest is 5, so it's really easy for me to wrangle him into playing something. He just wants to hang out with dad right now. He's not quite at the age where he thinks I'm dumb yet. So
just wait.
Yeah, I know. He just wants to hang out with dad. So if I'm in here playing like Donkey Kong Country, he wants to come in and just watch, or I'll hand him the controller, let him mess around. We have been playing a lot of Mario Kart 8 lately, actually, and he's like kicking butt on that thing. So I'm a little worried that I'm gonna have to lay the smack down here in a little bit just to show him who's boss. But I have one more question for you, Eric. Then we're gonna hit the rest of this podcast. What do you think is the most expensive thing in your collection?
Let's see. Currently,
probably one of those Saturn games.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm guessing we're talking games and not like the actual systems themselves.
Oh, we could do one of each. Let's do a game and then the system.
Let's see. Game wise, I'm looking right at my games here. Probably Guardian Heroes, I think, is the biggest one.
Oh yeah.
I think it's up around 190 if I had to guess, somewhere around there. Now I did have what's the name of the game? It's a Saturn game, Burning Rangers. I did have that one. That was like a $500 game.
Man.
Wow.
And I traded that towards my Virtual Boy stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, that was my biggest. But like I said, the Guardian Heroes being like 180, I think that's now my biggest one. System wise, I think the Virtual Boy and my JVC XI are like neck and neck, like 250, 260. Or the Virtual Boy maybe around 225 now. I'm not sure, but yeah, one of those two.
Is yours in box?
Go. It's not.
Yeah, man. I think Zablanc has I think he has an inbox Virtual Boy.
Wow.
Sweet.
I still gotta pick up a Virtual Boy at some point. I just gotta do it.
Oh man, they're so good.
Yeah, they're nice. Yeah. And if I would recommend, if you have to have the chance to, or if you're in the market for like to get into Sega CD, I would definitely go for a JVC XI if that's an option, because they're supposed to be like the best as far as just not crapping out on you and that sort of thing.
Cool. Yeah, thanks for the tip.
Nice. What Virtual Boy games do you have? I'm just curious.
The Wario Land, Mario Clash, Golf, Galactic Pinball. Let's see. There is Tillero Boxer, Red Alarm. And I think I've got one more somewhere in there. I think I have 7 games. I can't think of the other one, but yeah, I think I have about 7 games.
Nice.
Yeah. You're got almost right there with my collection on Virtual Boy.
Half the US. But
I think I'm at 8.
Gotcha. Yeah, you got that Water World. You got a good deal on it.
Yeah.
All right, that was crazy.
Yeah, all those games that I got from the local there, they were like half price from what they were supposed to be priced at. I don't know what the deal was. I couldn't pass it up, so I probably won't even ever play Waterworld.
It's probably for the best.
Yeah, probably. But half off, I was like, man, I got to pick this up. It's only going to go up.
And then, John, why don't you tell us, what do you think your most expensive game is?
The last time I've checked, not counting the stupid chance occurrence of Bloodstained Curse of the Moon, that limited run just went stupid high that I bought and left sealed. But probably either any of my inbox Pokemon games from first gen, or I also have what's it called? Evo for Super Nintendo.
Ooh.
Like I've talked about that on the show before. It was like a random yard sale buy for like $5. Turns out it's a $200 loose game.
Crazy.
Of course, I bought it like 15 years ago or longer.
Right.
It was early 2000s.
Yeah.
But yeah, I bought it as a kid in high school.
My collection is fairly recent. I started about 2 years ago. My most valuable game is Ribbit King on the GameCube, which goes for $150 complete in box. So that's my my little claim to fame.
What's that game about? I mean, I've heard of it, but I know nothing about it.
Oh, Eric, how do you describe Ribbit King? I'm going to keep this short. Ribbit King is a party golf game where you hit a frog with a hammer and then he does whatever the hell he wants on the golf course. So it's the fun of Mario Party and none of the fun of golf. So that's the best way to describe it. I don't know why it's so expensive, but it's a GameCube game, so you know how those are. So Eric, thank you so much for answering my questions and just getting to know you a little bit. That was fun. Thanks for being a part of the community. And yeah, just thanks for being
thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for being a collector and jumping in with us. So next up, we're going to jump into a little bit of what the community has going on. Every Thursday in the Discord, we do Throwback Thursday, where we just kind of chat about stuff. I sometimes ask a question, sometimes other people ask questions. And this week we were chatting about games that we own that we've never played. Games in our collection that just for one reason or another we never picked up. And Erik, your answer to this was in fact Guardian Heroes, your most expensive game. Was that a recent pickup for you, or is it just something that you haven't gotten around to yet?
Gosh, I think I've had it for a little less than a year, so yeah, it's been a minute. But I mean, you could probably say the same for a good chunk of my games that I actually haven't put much time into.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people that have families and everything, it's hard to find actual time to play what you want to play sometimes. But
I probably have a section of my collection that I haven't played that's probably larger than both of your collections. Just the games I haven't played.
Right.
Yeah. Erik, John's got a pretty sizable collection of his own there. Yeah. So John, the one you mentioned in Discord was Starfox Zero, which is
I did that for you.
You just gotta, at some point you just gotta pop that guy open and see what it's all about.
Well, I have two now, so I will.
Yeah.
I was wanting to hold on to the one because it was sealed, and I was like, man, this is the one game that's going to be stupid and be valuable one day. So
it's nice.
I left it sealed for a long time.
It's super not. I don't think any Starfox games have cracked like the $30 mark, other than like weird not for resale games and all that crap. But you can dream in one hand there, John. A couple other community members.
$30.
We've got where is it? Oh, we've got Frog Ski with Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. Never played it. Owns it. Just never played it. He says he found it at his friend's house and his friend let him have it. So that friend is probably kicking himself right now. Hambone Johnny talking about that Donkey Kong 64. It's a crying shame. You need to play that. Play that game. It's a great game. I don't care what anybody says. Andros with the Bomberman 64. Another pretty good game. Better played with friends as a party game and not so much the adventure mode. But And then Brian S. with the Starlink Battle for Atlas. Did either of you play that game at all?
Oh, yeah. I played through it. It's good.
I did not.
Man, that's a great game. And you can probably get it for like a song now. It's so cheap. And you can buy all the ships digitally, so you don't have to carry the toys around. It's really, really fun.
You know what? I might have to give away a copy of this on Friday.
Hey, all right. Okay. There's a sneak peek for a future Free Stuff Friday, so make sure you're paying attention. Spider-Shan with Disney's Epic Mickey on the Wii, which is excellent. Excellent game. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, there's also Spider-Shan's. Okay. So Togobop, also known as Bruce in the Discord, showed us a copy of Super Mario Brothers for the NES that apparently had been barbecued or
ooh, yeah, that was weird too.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Somebody used it to paint on. I don't know what the deal was, but that was pretty gross. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think we all just wish we had more time to play the games we love, and that's all I got to say about that. Well, that's about gonna wrap up this episode of Retrologic. Erik, do you have any like projects going on you want to tell anyone about, or anything on the internet that's cool that you're doing, or anything like that? Like, are you? Go ahead.
I have pretty much none of those things, but if you want to follow me, I guess you can hit me up. I'm pretty much at Erik Plunk on any kind of social media. I'll just pimp the Retrologic Discord and say, come on and join us we have a lot of fun, and yeah, that's about all I got.
Awesome.
I will say I always look forward to your posts. You and Mole have like some very strange tasting games, so I always like to see what you guys are picking up because it's something I usually haven't played.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. And that's good. Thanks for plugging the Discord. If you're listening, you're not in the Discord, get on over here. We have so much fun in the Discord, just goofing off, talking about games. We share our collections. We celebrate what others love. We show off our hauls. We go shopping. We pick something up cool. We show it off. We love to see all that stuff. So come on in, even if you're not a collector, even if you just like Sonic the Hedgehog or Mario or whatever, just come in and have a good time. Or Plunk. Are you a fan of Plunk? Because we have a place for you. He's got his own channel in our Discord. Yes. Oh yeah, I was gonna mention something now that we're at the end of the episode, is I have an idea. And I want to know, John and Eric, what you guys think of this idea. I think that for the month of April, since it's my birth month,
Mine too.
Yours too? Yeah. See, it's Eric's birth month. It's my birth month. I think we need to cancel crossplay for that month, and we'll all just play Plunk. And then at the end of the month, we'll have our first episode of Plunk Talk, and we'll just have everybody on, and we can just talk about Plunk until the cows come home. That'll be
Plunk around the clock.
Plunk around the clock. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, Plunk. I think we have to do that because we are a Plunk happy bunch, and we got to get it out. That's what I think we need to do. Any thoughts on that?
We'll all have to set up individual streams and just stream Plunk, and we'll blow up Twitch.
Yeah, we'll make Plunk the #1 streamed game on Twitch. We got to do it. We got to troll the internet, guys. Okay, so as of now, that's my plan. So if you don't own a copy of Plunk for the Super Nintendo, and you don't want to emulate the game, then you got to pick up your copy. I'm sure you could find it for like $15 or less on eBay. It's not that expensive.
Yeah.
I'm happy to help you out if you need help finding one. Let's do that. Let's plan on that. And with that, I want to super thank Erik for joining us for this episode and sharing with us his collection and his life and his lack of experience with Metroid. I want to thank my co-host, John, for jumping in and always being a friend on here and making it so I'm not just talking to myself. That helps a lot. And I want to thank you for listening to the Retrologic podcast. We are proudly part of the Nintendo Dads family of podcasts. And if you like what you hear, you can check us out on Twitter at Retrologic.games. We're always posting fun stuffs and giveaways and contests and just interesting little tidbits about my life and what's going on with retro games. You're also welcome to jump into our friendly and 100% non-toxic Discord community. The link to that is in my Twitter bio, so you can find all that there. You can also find everything. What?
Oh, you kind of like roboted out for a minute, so I didn't know if you were gone.
Oh no, I'm still here. I'm very much here, but thanks for interrupting my outro. Appreciate that. It's just throwing my groove off there. Where was I? The link to that is in my Twitter bio. You can also find everything at the website Retrologic.games. So, for me, for John, for Erik, thank you for listening, and we will see y'all next week.
Bye now.
See ya.
Okay. My computer didn't crash. So all is well.
Yeah, we're gonna get a little ways in, and you're gonna crash.
No,
wait,
shut up.
That's my computer. Never mind.
You shut the hell up with your wizardry magic spells.